Hey everybody, what's going on? Nexy is here, bringing you guys a hotfix video. Today I am discussing the Windwalker changes we have received today on November 1st. So let's take a look at what those nerfs are, or hotfixes. I pretty much just spoiled it for you guys. We received nothing but nerfs today, so we did receive some hotfixes. I'm going to cover what they are. I'll let you guys know what Blizzard thinks about them, and then of course at the end I will give my opinion on them. So before we go into it, I just want to let you guys know, don't be afraid to leave your opinion on these changes in the comments. I like to hear what other monks like to say, or maybe even if you're not a monk player, let me know what you think about these changes. So overall, leave a comment down below on what you think, and of course in this video I will leave what I think. So let's take a look at what these changes are. First of all, Windwalker agility has been reduced by 10%. This will affect everything: damage, burst damage, sustained damage. Some of our healing is based off attack power, which is gained by agility, so some healing is also going to be receiving a nerf. So basically agility just reduces the damage and healing of practically everything. For the next nerf, we have heavy-handed strikes now causes Fists of Fury to only stun when casted, so the first tick basically. Previously, every tick could stun. As long as it was the damage, or like the first time it damaged the player, it would still stun them. So every tick could essentially stun. For example, if you activate Fist of Fury and it hits somebody, they get stunned. If Fist of Fury is about to end and someone walks into range, they get stunned. Now, with this new nerf here in the hotfix, when you activate Fist of Fury, the first damaging tick will stun anybody. However, every other tick is impossible to stun. So if somebody walks into range at the very last second, they will not get stunned. They will take damage, but they will not get stunned. So you have to basically activate Fist of Fury at the proper time to stun everybody in range. That's basically how it works. Think of it kind of like a shockwave. It doesn't stun anyone seconds later, it just does it right on cast. So that's how this new heavy-handed strikes works, is it only stuns on the second that it casts basically. For the final hotfix nerf, we received a 5% reduction on Serenity, so now it will deal 25% increased damage instead of 30%, so a 5% damage. So let's take a look at why Blizzard has decided to make these changes. Windwalkers are able to maintain an extremely high uptime against their targets in PvP, and their raw damage capability was just too high for a spec that's so difficult to get away from. Well, I am 50-50 on this. I agree, it is extremely difficult to get away from us. What I don't agree with is that they say our raw damage capability was just too high. Now, I'm sure some people are going to freak out, but let me explain. Our raw damage? Well, depends what they mean. Burst damage? Yes, way too high. Our burst damage received a nerf. However, our sustained damage, our damage outside of Serenity and outside of Windlord and outside of Touch of Death, which are our burst cooldowns, outside of that, Rising Sun Kick, Black Hole Kick, Chi Wave, what's the other one? Tiger Palm, I almost said Jab. Tiger Palm, and even to some extent Fist of Fury. Just those abilities aren't really a whole lot compared to something like a Warrior or something. Our sustained damage is pretty low. What is overpowered is our burst damage, and I feel that they should be targeting those instead of everything. Because with this agility reduction that they are giving us, it's not only reducing our burst damage, it's reducing Chi Wave, it's reducing Tiger Palm damage, Blackout Kick, everything. On top of that, the agility reduction also reduces the healing effect of some abilities. For example, Chi Wave, or Effuse, or Chi Burst, or whatever. Anything that is based around attack power for healing is also going to be nerfed by agility, because agility grants attack power. So by having less attack power, it's also less healing. So I'm not a big fan of the whole blanket nerf of agility reduction, because that affects everything. Windwalker's problem is not their sustained damage or their healing. Windwalker's problem is that they can one-shot somebody in burst, and burst problems are coming from a couple of abilities specifically: Serenity, Touch of Death, Touch of Death's artifact trait Gale Burst, and to some extent Strike of the Windlord as well. So those I feel should be nerfed, not just agility, because that's nerfing Blackout Kick and stuff. If they want to nerf burst damage, which they should be nerfing those specific abilities, and to compensate they should also buff our sustained damage because it's extremely low. If they're going to nerf our burst damage, well, our sustained is low, plus our burst damage will also become low, so they should really buff up our sustained damage in my opinion. So that's what I would do personally. I am fine with the heavy-handed strikes nerf, by the way, because honestly, running around stunning everybody in a rated battleground and stuff isn't really that balanced. It's pretty overpowered. So only stunning on the cast is perfectly balanced. You're still stunning your kill target. That's all that's really important. If I'm queuing Windwalker Mage and he's going to Glacial Spike, he'll Poly the healer, I'll Paralysis the second DPS, I'll Fist of Fury the kill target, and he'll Glacial Spike into the Fist of Fury, because he can't pop a defensive because he's still stunned by the initial Fist of Fury cast. So I feel like the Heavy-Handed Strikes nerf is a nerf mostly to Windwalker and Death Knight, so Walking Dead Cleave. It's mostly a nerf to that comp, and not really a nerf to other comps like Windwalker Mage or Windwalker Lock. So I think it's perfectly fine. I agree with the Heavy-Handed Strikes nerf. The Serenity nerf I also agree with. Personally, I don't really agree with the Agility nerf. I'd rather see a damage nerf to Serenity again, or a damage nerf to Touch of Death, or Gale Burst, or something. I just feel like the Agility nerf just hits everything. It hits Chi Wave, it hits Black Hole Kick, Sun Kick, Fist of Fury, Tiger Palm. It hits literally everything. Our sustained damage, every single ability, and that's why I don't like this blanket nerf. I would like to see, if they choose to keep the agility reduction, I would like to see some damage increase buffs to some of our abilities, like, I don't know, the Chi Wave talent, the Chi Burst talent, maybe Eye of the Tiger, or Rising Sun Kick, Black Hole Kick, Tiger Palm. I don't know. Either way, I feel like sustained damage should receive a buff if they are going to consistently blanket nerf us like this on top of our burst as well. Alright guys, I've given you guys my opinions on the changes. Those are the changes. Let me know what you guys think as well. Also, do you guys like this kind of video where I give you guys the news to Windwalker changes? If you guys like this kind of video where I let you guys know what's happening to Windwalkers, then I'll continue making these videos if it's something you guys like. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.